My friend, if you are getting ready to start, or maybe you've already started, but if a new homeschool year is happening right now, right around you, I want to give you all the permission you are ever going to need to not do all the things you think you're supposed to be doing there in those first couple of weeks. Now, as a homeschool mom, currently in my 16th homeschool year, these are the lessons that I have learned the hard way, more times than I really want to fess up to right now. And there are some things now that I deliberately don't do, especially in those first couple of weeks. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what those first couple of weeks look like, what I'm intentionally leaving out, and what I'm actually watching for before I make that kind of solid decision of what our new homeschool year rhythm is going to look like. Well, hello friends, and welcome to the Heavenly Minded Homeschool, where I want to talk with you all about the things that we do, how we invest, how we're intentional about training up countercultural children. And whether you are a longtime homeschool mom, you're totally new to this, or kind of just dipping your toe in the water trying to figure out if homeschool is the right thing for you and your family, I think that as homeschool parents, there are very important conversations that we should have, especially in those first couple of weeks back to homeschool, because it can be difficult. And especially if you're new, or even you've been doing it for a while and you're second guessing everything you're doing, you're dealing with children that are having struggles, or you got something in the family that's going on. Maybe you just brought in a new baby. Maybe you've got a new work schedule. Maybe you've got whatever it is that's going on that is making you go, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know how to figure it out. I know it can be overwhelming. So please, just virtual hug here. I know it can be difficult, but let's talk about it. In those first couple of weeks, that can be really intimidating, really overwhelming, or maybe the excitement levels are not the same between every member of the homeschool. What are some things that you should intentionally make sure you're doing, but also intentionally let go, get rid of, don't even bother with right here, right now? These are the things that make my list. If you guys have ones that you would add to it, or what would you do differently, leave me a comment down below. I love that we can have a community here of other homeschool mamas to all share and talk about these things, because it is not a one size fits all, that is for sure. So the first thing that I think is important to do going into your homeschool year is to have a plan. Whether you unschool, you classical school, right, whatever it is that you are doing, you need to have some plan. Now, your plan and my plan might look drastically different. My idea of what a plan is versus your idea of what a plan is might look drastically different. I'm quite type A, so if I say there's a plan, there is a plan, and it is very detailed. I have had to learn over the years that that is not always what fits my children and our current season of family life, and my plan needs to be a lot simpler, a lot broader, a lot more whatever it is that it needs to be. You should have a plan of sorts, something that everybody going into it, from the parents to the students to maybe other children that aren't involved in what you're doing because they're younger or they're older, whatever the case may be, whoever is involved in the situation should be able to have some sort of what's the plan? What are we doing? What's going on here? But while that is something I do, something I very intentionally do not do is force the plan above all else. I have been guilty of this so many times. You would think I would learn my lesson, but I don't. I work on the plan. I come up with the plan. I spend so much time just diving into curriculum and watching videos like this and plotting it all out. And I've got Post-it notes and planners everywhere, and I'm doing all this stuff. And then when it comes down to it, I'm like, we are doing this. We cannot deviate. It is 9:01. We are 1 minute behind, right? Like, I get so locked into what this plan is. And I want to encourage you, yes, have a plan, have an idea, communicate this, let everybody be on the same page so it's not just living in your head, but like it exists somewhere. Very good things. But do not force that plan above all else. It's one thing to kind of come in lovingly with encouragement of, hey guys, come on, we're getting on track, we're doing this. Like, it's okay, we can make it up, let's get going. Like, it's good to do that. If you're thinking that it all has to go directly in accordance with this like bell schedule you've laid out, that is most likely going to be a recipe for disaster. If you need to ease up a little bit and not make the plan be the end all be all of everything in your life, probably a good idea, okay? And just a quick little heads up, I don't know how much information I can actually tell you all about it, but I am super excited to be asked to come and speak at the upcoming Homeschool Teaching Summit. It's going to be hosted online here starting October 19th. We have nearly 20 speakers confirmed for this. It is going to be such an amazing time with so many wonderful speakers and topics and just other homeschool parents that care so deeply about this topic that they want to pour into other homeschool families and help encourage and equip them to have exactly the homeschool that God has called them to. So be sure you check out the link down in the description. We've got lots more that's going to be coming out about it here soon, but I got to come speak at it, and I'm pretty excited about that. Praying over my topic and the time, and really just an opportunity to connect with other homeschool families. So had to share a little bit of exciting news with you all. The next thing that I absolutely do, I don't care how many years you've been doing this, how old your kids are, whatever, start with lots of prayer and even more grace for yourself, for your children, for your husband, for your home, for your schedule, for other people, for whatever it is that is involved here. You're going to want to start it off with prayer. Have your heart in the right place before you dive into these things. Why are you homeschooling? Why does this matter? Why is this important? You guys can watch my recent videos I put up where we touched on those things. That is really important. Have grace with yourself. Have grace with your children. Have grace with your spouse. Have grace with whatever. I don't know what it is, but every year when we start back to homeschool, which our family has, so like this is what I'm living day in and day out, everything goes wonky. Everything goes sideways. It never fails. And I have to remind myself to go back to the Lord in prayer. Lord, give me strength. Give me clarity. Give me wisdom. Forgive me for the frustrated tone I was speaking in, right? These different things that we come across, you're going to need that prayer. You're going to need it rock solid all the time, and you're going to need that grace. Now, something that I want to so encourage you to not do, please hear me when I say this, okay? Like, zone in here. Don't think you have failed when you need a break, okay? Because sometimes you get to certain points in the day because it's coming from your end or a child's end or just the house situationally where you go, you know what? Who wants to go swimming? Well, we're going to put all the books away. It's still warm outside. The pool is still up and ready and going. Let's go hop in the pool, myself included, right? Like, we're going to go cool down. We're going to take a break. Maybe kids are tired and you are pushing too much and everybody is having a hard time keeping up with this plan you've laid out. And you know what? It's a good time for quiet hour in the afternoon where some of us can nap. I don't know if y'all can see my couch back here, but I literally laid down and took a nap the other day because I got to the point where I was like, I can't anymore. My brain feels like it's going to explode. I'm doing too many things, being pulled in too many directions. I am taking a little nap, everyone. It is quiet hour. We can read, we can play quietly, or we can take a nap because that is what is needed. Don't think you failed just because you need a break, okay? Or a kid needs a break, or just the whole household needs a break. That is okay. That is not failure. I'm telling you, it isn't, okay? The next thing is, as mom or grandma or whoever it is that's watching this that is kind of leading the homeschool charge for the family, you've got to have a great attitude. If you go into this stressed, burnt out, too hyped up, frustrated, just super serious about everything, the attitude that you go into this with is going to so impact the students. Whether you're homeschooling one kiddo or you're like me and you got a whole gaggle of them, your attitude is going to really, really impact and drive the day that you have with these children. And so it is so incredibly important that you have your head on straight before you go into this. When you have a pleasant attitude, when you are excited, when you are filled with gratitude and thanksgiving, and you're just ready to learn and to have a good time and to be patient and graceful and all of these wonderful, great things, right? The fruit of the Spirit, you're loaded up, right? That's what you're wanting to go into this. That's really important. You need to have that. But on the flip side here, don't expect all of your kids to have that same attitude. I know. You've got to do it. That's a do, okay? That's a do. You have to. It's really, really important. But you cannot expect all of them to be sitting here watching this video getting the same encouragement, being like, all right, let's do this thing. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. They're going to be like, stop watching the crazy lady on the internet. That's not how we feel about going back to school. I don't want to do this. I'm cranky. I don't want to. I want to be playing video games or just sitting outside all day. I can't keep my kids. We had a bunch of baby ducklings this year and they are big now and running all over the place. And every time I turn around, I'm losing kids to go out and play with the ducks. And I'm like, we're focusing. And they're like, no, we're not. We have cute little ducks out here. That's what we're doing. So I get it. You can't expect them to have the same attitude about all of this as you do, and that's okay. You still need to do their part, and you need to be encouraging and uplifting and all those wonderful things without then souring your attitude because they're not giving back what you're putting into it, okay? Again, grace and prayer, that's why we talked about that one first. You want to carry that through. Now, the next thing that I want to encourage you to do is to create expectations. This kind of like having a plan. This is how our day is going to go. We're going to get into this. This is going to be really cool. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do this great nature study and talk about these things and learn about these things. And then we're going to go out this Friday and we're going to go hiking and see how many things we can find, right? When you set those expectations for the day, for the activity, for what it is that you're doing, yes, there's one thing of having the plan of like A, B, C, D. Sure, that's great. Let everybody know what's going on. But create the expectation in that. This is why we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do this. This is what we should be feeling or experiencing or whatever the piece is in it. The expectation kind of sets up that layer that's a little bit deeper than just here's the schedule, here's the plan, we have a new routine, right? The expectation is really, really important to talk about. Not only is this what we're going to experience, what we're going to do, hopefully our hearts and attitudes going into it, but this is what I want to see from you. I am not expecting perfection. I am not expecting all of this up here, right? You understand kids might be a little rusty. They're just getting into it, especially if you're brand new to homeschooling altogether. Create the expectation for them. Hey, this is what you need to be getting done. This is what you're going to be responsible for. This is how you need to find balance between chores and school time and fun time, right? Or whatever it might be that you have. Create those expectations, kind of like having a plan, make it very clear so that way everybody understands. But in the don't side of that, don't stress it if it's not all done and done perfectly like your expectation is, right? Your expectation, if you're anything like me, is here's the plan, here's the expectations, I've laid them all out, now go do it. Well, unfortunately, all of my children are also individual, sinful little human beings, just like I am, and so they don't always get things done the way that I expect them to, and they have different feelings and thoughts about things than maybe I do, and that's okay. I don't want to create a situation where I am so stressing everyone out if it's not happening the way that I've laid out, because while I may be taking the lead in setting the plan and the expectations, especially over the first couple of weeks, as much effort as I've put into creating these plans and expectations, I need to be putting the same amount, if not more effort in to reading the room, reading the individuals, understanding where people are at, what's working, what's not working, so that after the first couple of weeks, we can make those little tweaks and adjustments as we need. So I'm not saying that if it doesn't work out day one, you just throw it all away. Certainly that's not it. Create these plans, create these expectations, lay the stuff out, communicate these things, have patience and grace and all of that wonderful stuff as you go through it. Have that good attitude, set all of this up, but pay attention to what's working and what's not working, where your children maybe need a little more structure and where they need a little more freedom. And the last thing that I want to encourage you to, and if you've heard nothing else in all of this that I've been sharing, please hear this. I absolutely want you. This is non-negotiable, especially in those first couple weeks of homeschooling, because they don't always go so well. They can be a little much, but you have to do this, okay? Have fun. Have fun with your children. Don't make it all stressful and overwhelming and we have to dot every I and cross every T. Have fun with your children. I want to foster a love of learning, and that needs to come from me if it's ever going to fill my children as well. And so have fun with them. Learn new things. Homeschool is fantastic. I love going through all the things we go through because I learn so much cool stuff. We get into things together. We go off on rabbit holes. We try different projects and experiments. It's such a wonderful time. Have fun. If you need to ease in a little bit, you need to pull back the reins on a couple things, you need to shift a couple things around, that's okay. This is your homeschool. God gave you these children because He knows you're the best thing for them, okay? Pour into them in the way that they need. You understand that. Pay attention. Make adjustments where you have to make adjustments, but have fun together. If you need to finish up your homeschool day and have ice cream for dinner because it was a long day and we all struggled a little bit, you know what? Ice cream, bar it up. Let's do this thing, right? If you need to take that break and go swimming, if you need to have Friday's excursion day, and after a long week of getting all this done and trying to get on a new schedule, y'all head out. You go for a hike, hike, or you check out a local museum, or you go to the park because all the kids are back in school and now you kind of have the park all to yourself. Super win for a homeschool family. Do that. Have fun, ease in, enjoy the process. Because the last thing that I do not want you to do, I would throw this out. This has no place in your homeschool, especially in the first 2 weeks, and that would be feeling discouraged. Some of my worst days of homeschooling are in the first days of a new school year, even as a veteran homeschool mom. Sometimes those first days, man, I don't know what it is, we struggle. We have a hard time. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys this video right up here. This is one I did a couple years ago, and it was a mess. This happens, and that's okay. Don't feel discouraged, don't give up. And if you guys want to see exactly what our family is using this year that I pray might be a blessing for you, I'll leave you guys this video right down here. Otherwise, subscribe, turn on your bells, and be right back here each week as we talk all about the wonderful things of homeschooling. I'll see you all over there. Bye, friends.